Not sure how to build out that lead capture form in ActiveCampaign? Today, we're going to show you how to build out that form, as well as some of the other options that you need to be aware of. So hang tight, we will be right back. Hey there, Stan Shields here. I am your ActiveCampaign guy. If you'd like to find more info on me, just go to theactivecampaignguy.com. Now today we're going to talk about how to build out the lead capture form using ActiveCampaign. We're going to go over to our ActiveCampaign dashboard, and we're going to go down here on the left-hand side. We're going to click on Site, and then we're going to go down and select Forms. Once we're on the forms page, we're going to go down and click on create a form up in the top right hand corner of the page. And then we have to give our form a name. We're going to call this one the ActiveCampaignGuide.com. You get 4 different types of forms that you can use. We're going to create an inline form, which is the typical one that you see. However, depending on which level of ActiveCampaign account you do have some other options that you can work with. We're not going to do those today. So then the next question is, what do we want this form to do? We want the people that fill out this form to then be subscribed to a list. We're going to go down here and we're going to choose a list for them to be subscribed to. I'm going to put them in my general contacts list. And then we are going to select another action. I'm going to add an active campaign tag. I'm also going to add another action. I'm going to add a second tag. This will be a prospect tag. So now this person's going to be added to my general contacts list, but I'm also tagging them with ActiveCampaign and prospect because now they are in my prospects list for the ActiveCampaign program. Once we've completed that and we're happy with it, we're going to click create, and then ActiveCampaign is going to bring us into the form builder. What I want to capture is going to be full name, email, and I'm going to add the phone number. But before we do that, we're going to get rid of this branding as well. So we're going to go over here to style, and then we're going to go down and we're going to turn off the ActiveCampaign branding. Now let's go back to our fields, and we are going to add a phone number field, and that's going to be under our standard fields here. So we're just going to grab this and we're going to drag it and we're going to put it right underneath the email. And I'm going to change this to say mobile phone, and then I'm going to leave this in. Type your phone number. We can require this entry or not require this entry. If you notice, the items that are required have a little asterisk next to it, so that tells people that it's a required item. Okay, we've got the 3 main fields that we need to be included. Right now the form has a white background. I want it to actually have a clear background, so I'm going to click on this little box right here, and then I'm going to click on make transparent. For where I'm going to put this form, I want my font colors to be white, and so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to change the font color to white, which means that right now it's going to disappear on us, but when it gets to its destination, it's going to be okay. Now the button is something else I want to design, so we're going to change the button background to be a different color. So let's click here, and we are then going to go inside this box right here, and we're going to paste the actual color. There we go. Now we change the button color, and we have the text on the button is going to be white. Again, it doesn't look great right here, but once we put it where we want it, then it should look a whole lot better. We're also going to change the button text to be black. So we're going to click here, and we're just going to drag it all the way down here to the very bottom corner, and that changes it to black. Now I'm going to click on the button itself. The button says submit. I'm going to change it to click here to learn more. And then I can click anywhere on the white area to get out of that design mode. It's also good to know that ActiveCampaign is saving all of these changes as we go along. Okay, so that's it for styling. Those are all the things that we want on our page right now. I am going to click on options. On submit, what do we want to do? Do we want to show the person a thank you page, or do we want to send them to another URL? And we're going to send them to another URL. In this instance, we're going to send them to my affiliate link for ActiveCampaign. So it will take them over to the ActiveCampaign page, which means that if someone clicks on it and they choose to buy ActiveCampaign, I'm going to make a small commission, and it does not affect their price at all. If we look further down, we see that they're going to then be added to the general contacts list. We're adding a tag called ActiveCampaign, and we're adding a tag called prospect. Now, this is very important. I come down here to where it says advanced, and I'm going to uncheck this box, because what this does is this says it will allow blank fields to overwrite existing field data. So if someone's already in your database and they leave a field blank, that's going to overwrite data that's in your database already. We don't want that to happen. So I pretty much always uncheck this box. The other thing that's important for you to know, and that we're going to go explore, is the opt-in options. And so clicking this little gear wheel gives us the ability to have an opt-in confirmation. So it's by default, it is set to on. And so you can leave it on. That means that they're going to get an opt-in email that requires them to opt in. And then once they've opted in, they'll get whatever email is going to come through your series that you may have created. In this case, I'm going to turn the opt-in off. Okay, that's it. Our form is basically done. We're going to now come over to the integrate button that's up in the top right-hand corner. We're going to click on integrate, and this is how we then get the data that we can use to either embed our form someplace or to simply link over to it. In this instance, I'm going to use the simple embed code. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to copy this code. And then I'm going to go to a website where I'm actually going to put this code in. Now, as you can see, there's a form there already, but I'm going to put this form right underneath it just to show you how this works. Most websites will have either what's called a widget or a code snippet tool that you can use. So I'm going to grab this code snippet tool, and I'm going to drop it right where I want this form to go. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to paste. And so what this does now is it just pasted the form in right here. A lot of times you will have to go in and actually change the height for the code so that it makes sure that it will read all of it. If you notice, this one says that it's 100. So sometimes you have to play with this to figure out what's the right number. So 300 isn't quite enough for me. I'm going to try 400. 400 is a little bit too much. I'm going to try 350. And now it's got it perfect. And now, remember what I said to you before, that the characters, the letters were white and the button didn't look quite that great with it being on the page with a white background. But since I was going to put it on something that has a dark background, now the button looks just fine. Now that's how easy it is to get that form embedded on a site. Then you just save that site, and now you've got your ActiveCampaign form. So when people fill out the form over on that site, even though that's not an ActiveCampaign site, then the data though is going to flow all the way through to ActiveCampaign. Here's what else you can do with your form that you just created. There's a few different ways that you are able to actually use it. We saw here that we have the embed code that's right here for us. That's what I just used to put it on that other site. But if I want to, I can just click on the link to send a link to a person, and they can fill the form out right through this link. The other thing you can do is if you want to put this on your WordPress site, then you simply have to just download the WordPress plugin, and then your forms are actually going to just show up on the site for you. You can plug them into wherever you want, but you'll have easy access to all of them right through your WordPress plugin. And last but not least, Facebook. If you then want to create a separate tab on your Facebook account where you can now have your subscription form there, you can do that. And if you click this button down here, then the system will walk you through how to get that whole thing all set up. So as you can see, it's very versatile with a lot of different things that you can do. Now in my next video, we're going to actually build out the automation that goes along with this form. This video will get too long if we try and do all of that inside there. So we're going to build that in the very next video. And from that, we're going to show you how the form triggers out an automation. We're going to show you the simple steps to building an automation. And we're going to cover some tips and tricks maybe to try and get people to engage, especially with that first message that's going out with them. And then we're going to teach you how to check to make sure that all of it is working properly. Now, if you like the information that I'm sharing with you, please be sure to like and subscribe down below. On this channel, I review and I teach on several different software platforms. ActiveCampaign is my favorite platform for building automation.